to look at it, I'll take a motion and a second.
So moved.
I'll second.
Good deal. Motion by Ryan, second by Judy. Anybody have any questions or comments? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. And next item is the reading and approval of the minutes of the October 31st special meeting. If you've had a chance to look over that, I'll take a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion.
Who was it? Shay
Shay.
first. Shay and Ryan. Okay. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And anyone opposed? Okay. New business. Moving right along. First thing is the request approval and acceptance of NDOT change order number 5 due to overruns on individual pay items on contract R 42804 for $31,344.55. JW Boulevard and Beach Street Roundabout. David Flynn.
Thank you. I'm here to ask for the change order to be approved. I do have Jason Buck with Lockmuller here with me, and I'm going to let him explain the change order.
All right, so for this change order, we overran the federal portion of the contract by approximately $31,270. And the interesting thing about this job was it had two categories. One was your federal participating items, and the other one was 100% City of Bedford funds for utility relocation. The overrun, those items come from your federal participating items. And we went out and reached out to NDOT for federal funding. There was none available. And since you guys had money already set aside for utility relocation and we underran that portion, this change order is just simply moving it from one category to the other. And that's just so that it's a quicker process of closing the contract out, and it makes it so you guys don't have to write a separate check when the money's already there. These items that are on here, they're 4 items, and I did my best to kind of come out to that $31,270, and this is essentially as close as I could get to it. There are other items that overran, but there are also other items that underran as well. To make it kind of jive with NDOT protocol standards and wording, on their change order front, these are the items that I chose, and it's just, like I said, to get that $31,000 over to that category.
So you said we overran. Did we overrun, or is this something Lockmuller missed in their original? I mean, I see footages here. I see adding curb areas. I mean,
So the added curb was a field change. We had some steep slopes behind the sidewalk that we had to address. The existing grade. We cut down the road up to 4.5, 5 feet in some areas. So we had some steep slopes between the edge of the sidewalk and the right-of-way, and that extra curb was just to address that.
So that wasn't found in your guys' first site analysis when you did the elevation and all of that stuff?
So we didn't do the design, we just did the inspection for the construction. And this was found after we had done our digging, essentially, for our excavations.
I think part of this on the curbing area was the issue where there was a utility pole that was going to be moved in the initial phase, and then it was determined that Duke was not going to move the pole. And whenever they would not move the pole, they couldn't cut the grade down. And then when they couldn't cut the grade down, they had to put the wall up to take care of the embankment.
Yeah, so that was one area, and then there was an area on the north side as well, again with a Duke utility pole that it was, like I said, very close to the sidewalk and kind of impeding in that steep slope too. So this wall, the curb, we paid it as curb, and it kind of protects that slope from eroding into the sidewalk and protects pedestrians from that utility pole.
I had a question, I was not familiar with it.
Okay.
On the first one, this pay item covers incentive bonuses and penalties.
That pay item, anytime that you have federal funding with asphalt paving, that is an item that's in there. That item comes from samples that are taken on site. There's samples that are taken of loose asphalt, sent off to NDOT for testing, and then we also take core samples, and they run some tests, and the results of those tests, they produce pay factors, and that's essentially what that is, pay factors on each of these items.
So it's not an incentive bonus, it's more of work that's being done. To me, there's a difference in the
So
definition.
it's based on the asphalt items themselves. So they run these tests, and like I said, they produce pay factors of what you get paid on top of your original unit price item.
So they got paid for doing what they were supposed to do, right?
Yes.
So so what you're telling me is if they said that they have to provide mixture A, which you should have had a
Yeah,
submittal,
this-
and that's what they should have provided, if they provided it right, they get extra money?
If they provided above and beyond what is required by NDOT. So it's been like this for as long as I've been involved in this work. I've been doing this for almost 15 years now, and this is in every federal aid job that I've been a part of.
But also, if it would have been,
There-
they've done the test and it would have been a negative.
Yeah.
Like they didn't use
So-
the proper.
There was one of the tests was it was a deduct. It was like $1,000 deduct. I think it was $1,000 or $1,100 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but this number includes the deducts as well, or the penalties.
Okay.
It's part of the QA process. It's in the NDOT standards, and I understand, unfortunately, it's an extra cost to the project, but that, like I said, it's been part of federal aid jobs and state jobs as well, so.
On the truck apron
Yep.
of the roundabout for joint strengthening,
Yeah, so those, it's pieces of rebar every 10 feet. The design, I think they call out a minimum of every 15 feet you have to put these, it's like a dowel rod basket essentially. And above these, they cut an expansion joint. When you do that, you need the rebar there to strengthen that joint. So the minimum design standards is every 15 feet on this apron. We did 10 feet joints on the curb on both sides, so we just essentially matched that curb, those curb joints. And that's typical.
okay.
And I will say that I know this front page can be kind of confusing as well. You have total approved change orders to date, 164,000. That's not necessarily, we did not use $164,000 of extra money. This $31,000, that's the overrun to the entire job. So that's less than I think it's around a 1.5% overrun.
All right.
So essentially, I think if
the money that we had already gotten approved from this group, the 160-some thousand, we didn't end up using, even though we got it approved. So we were a lot better off than we thought we were gonna be.
There was $182,301 in that utility relocation category. We ended up using 148 and some change.
Well, I understand your statement, and you're correct there, but the flip side of that statement is if we didn't have these change orders, then we would have saved more money.
Sure.
So, okay.
I'm gonna ask the white elephant question in the room here. Who approved the change orders?
I believe the one of the boards. At these meetings, they get approved, I believe.
I mean, who approved the, I mean, I guess I'm gonna ask the question here is, who approved adding the dial rods? And I'm just gonna throw that out there. Who,
I approved that on site, yeah.
you approved it?
Yes. But like I said, that's typical to match these curb joints that we cut. We saw cut joints every 10 feet in curb. That's typical. And I asked the designer, what is your required, the joints for this truck apron? They said 15 feet. Well, that didn't necessarily match our curb saw joints. So to make it match, it would have just looked funky without it. You'd have had a joint offset, you know, 2 to 5 feet in between these joints, and that's just not typical. You'd have cracking in between these cracks.
The designer didn't design it typically. The designer did not design what would.
I can't speak for the designer. I just know that what we do on site is every 10 feet in concrete.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just, apparently there was a design gap here.
Yeah.
You know, if you say 10 feet's the normal and they were 15 feet, to me, something's wrong there.
Yeah. Like I said, we didn't design it. I can't speak on behalf of how they specified that. I will say there was not really a note in the plan. I had to call them and ask them. So, I mean, at that time, we had already cut joints in this curb. So, if we had caught it before, yes, we probably could have adjusted our joints. But like I said, 10 foot's typical in our curb, 8 to 10 feet.
Do I have a motion?
Is there any confusion on any of the items that are in it, other than the concerns with you know, the gap between design and specs in the field, or again, this was you know, $164,000 in change orders, and we were able to keep it to an under the total contract of $31,000. And most of these change orders, these were before we even got started in the field, before a shovel was even put in the ground.
I mean, this project's done. We've got to get the books closed on this. We've got to pay it. I don't like the way this was presented. I mean, I'm not blaming you for the way it was presented. I understand it, but I will make a motion that we approve this.
I will second.
Okay. If all in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Thank you.
Okay, number 2, TIF Annual Spending Plan for 2026, Redevelopment Commission, Billy Toomey.
Yes, this is the annual plan that we have to develop to send to the state. We don't have to spend all this money. It's just that we put a budget together that will allow us to spend up to the amounts listed on the report. Capital expenditures would be up to 8 million, professional expenses up to 500,000, police, fire, capital, and or operating expense up to 7.5 million. Operating expense could be up to 200,000. Educational training programs up to 200,000. Permissional reimbursements 500,000, and other anticipated expenses would be 4 million. So it'd be a total of $20,900,000, which you won't spend that, but we won't have to go back and amend the plan if a big project comes up. So it just needs to be approved, and so I can submit it to the DLGF.
Any questions or comments, or we'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion for the TIF annual spending plan for 2026 for the Redevelopment Commission.
I will second. I will second.
Okay. Okay, good deal. Moving on, number 3.
Gotta vote.
Sorry, we do have to vote. All right, it's my first night doing this. Okay, if not all in favor, say aye. Or if you're all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Nope, okay, now we can move on. Okay, number 3, request approval of 2026 donation for $50,000 to Lawrence County Growth Council from abatement fees. Mayor Craig and Billy again.
Okay, this is what we've discussed in the past, referenced paying this now out of the RDC abatement money so that we can save our general fund, reference the shortfalls that we're going to be seeing. Billy has checked with our financial advisors, and they advise that this is appropriate as long as it's only the abatement side of the money. So that's basically what we present. Billy, you have anything to add?
We collected $188,828 in abatement fees this year. So it'd be a portion of that.
And I guess on another note, we'll go ahead and mention, we have also checked with the financial advisors, and we have some other salaries at the city that we will be coming back to RDC, that we believe in talking with them that we can also reimburse some of our salary line items out of some of this abatement money. So that will be something that we'll probably be discussing at the December meeting.
Take a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the 2026 donation for $50,000 to the Lawrence County Growth Council from the abatement fees.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, if all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Okay, number 4, any discussion on anything?
We got some projects moving along, of course. The contract this evening for some of the work being done over for the new council room will be going to the Board of Works, and we anticipate that they're going to be starting that project, I believe, this week. So hopefully, since it's all indoors, that they will be able to move and progress fast on that from the standpoint of hopefully getting that done so that we'll be able to start using that. RDC put some money in down at the fire station. Most of the kitchen's been tore out. They're in the process of putting some new flooring down. The cabinets are ordered, so that's also moving along. That's all I have.
Okay, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.